evening, ladies and gentlemen. We are back. Round 2, SLR Tier 1. We're back, and it's Japan. And the cars are about to get on the track. Before we get to it, let me introduce my fellow commentator. It is Icewind. How are you, Icewind?
Good evening, everybody. Always good to be at Suzuka, one of the, well, I guess absolute driver favorites. Maybe not absolute, but everybody always dislikes something. But yeah, it's a really great track for driving. Bailey Thompson, I saw in chat earlier, criticized a little bit the racing part, but I guess we'll see what happens. So maybe he's right there, but it's definitely one of the great tracks to drive around in a virtual Formula One car.
Yeah, I always enjoyed this track, and it looks like we've got a full grid today, which is great to see in Tier 1. Have a number of reserves driving today. We were just talking before, saying Max is one that stands out as a contender for the win, possibly today, but we also have Christian, who's coming off a win last week, Billy Thompson, who's got a point to prove after last week, and of course we can't count out the likes of McKender and Persigilli, Touche. There's a lot of names that could win today, and we're only in round 2 of 10, so it's all to play for as we see our first driver about to start his run. It is Howie RC. Let's go on board with him.
Indeed. The only DRS on the track, we are on it, on the main straight, DRS wide open, 337 kph down the main straight into turn 1, and then we are already into the S's, and he has to back up a little bit to get the car to rotate properly there through 3, 4, 5, and then 6 before the famous Dunlop curve, up the hill, up through the gears, and then we're into sector 1, and it's a 31.7 for Harsey into sector 1, already through Deckner 2, going toward the hairpin, breaking a straight line, and then try to feel the traction, and then slam it toward Spoon curve, and there's a little bit of traffic ahead of him, but he manages to navigate it quite well. Throw it into Spoon, part 1, a little bit loose on the entry there for Horsey. Second part, a bit compromised because of the mistake on the entry there, and then we're on to the back straight, up the hill, deploying whatever we have left of the battery toward 130, our easy flat out in these cars these days, and approaching the final braking zone, brake at about 100 meters. Through the chicane, misses the apex a little bit there, so a bit of a scruffy lap for Horsey, but we pick up the throttle and then deploy whatever we have left of the battery toward the line, and it's a 28.1, and I think we'll see considerably faster than that in a few minutes.
Yes, a lot of drivers about to cross the line, finish their hot lap run, and I've got Christian in my sights right now. Coming out of the final corner as Max takes P1 with 26.7. What can Christian do? It is 26.7 also, but just slightly slower, so Max taking pole for now. Dorsey up to P3.
Yep. McKender also out of the final corner. Let's see what he can do. He's out of the battery a little bit toward the line. McKender sets a 27.3 and goes fourth as Bailey Thompson steals the provisional pole. He was the pole sitter last week as well.
Yep. Very rapid over one lap. Tends to run into some issues of late in the race, but this is definitely a track you want to start at the front. It really does give you a bit of an advantage, especially if you can get to turn 1 ahead of everybody else. Looking at Persigilli right now in the Red Bull, looking pretty feisty out there. Heading out of the Spoon.
Yep, out of the Spoon curve. And once again, deploying whatever you have left of the battery onto the back straight, 109.4. We'll see. Not really sure what that is comparable to, because I kind of forgot to look what the fast boys were doing into that, but we'll keep that in mind for the rest of the laps. And Persigilli a little bit out of shape out of the final corner onto the line, and it's a 26.5, so it's a provisional pole for Persigilli.
Nicely done from him, yeah. Very fast times coming in, but very tight at the top. 4 drivers in the 26, and we've got Touche about to start his hot lap in the other Ferrari.
Pistols as well, 28.1, so he lost a little bit of time there in the middle sector, I think. So Yeah, he had a pretty good first sector, so yeah, Crystal's also room to improve, but yeah, Touge, I guess, is actually the only driver on a lap right now, I guess.
Yeah, looked nice and smooth through turn 1, turn 2. I mean, sector 1, as we all know, a lot of time can be gained here, especially if you can be very brave on the throttle, and he's feathering it just right, but he does have a car ahead that might cause some dirty air, and can put you off your lap time, but he gets past him nicely, just coming out of Dunlop corner. Down to the Degners he goes, and flat out, slight lift actually, for the first Degner. Second Degner keeps it nice and tidy, runs off the curb, down to the hairpin. Straight line braking, as you said. Oh, and he hits the curb there a little bit. Probably not the ideal line, but seems to have got away with it for now. Sector 2 time will come up very soon, but I love this corner ice. It's a two-parter, Spoon. The entry, just fire it in, come off the throttle, pick it up again, and just try to catch it. It looked like he missed it at the apex, so it could have been a little bit closer there. But looks nice and tidy nonetheless. And a long run down to, what is it, 130R, flat corner.
Yep. A long way up though, 1.2 seconds of the fastest sector split there.
Yeah, so we will see what he's got here in the bag, but might not be enough for pull. It's enough for P9 though. Just 3 spots behind his teammate.
Yeah, just looking at the sector times there, so 7/10 off in sector 1 alone, so maybe it was a bit scruffy for Touge. I'm sure he can find some time there still. He's definitely more of a how do you call it? Not really a qualifying merchant. Touge is more of a race merchant, I would say.
Yeah, and a bit of a tire whisperer as well. Just want to say hello to Kit in chat. Also got Caddy whatever, and Lepson of course saying hello. Kit of course designing the stream package, but also the thumbnails, which are rather tasty this season, I have to say.
Yep. Greetings to my Brazil engineer Caddy in chat.
Oh, is that the infamous Caddy?
Yeah.
What do we got? We got Billy Thompson.
I'm not really sure what she's famous or infamous for, but yeah.
I mean,
let's
oh, Pep
yeah, I guess
P5.
we'll see.
P5, I didn't see that. That was pretty good. 27.3.
Yep. Right. Billy Thompson about to start a lap here. Let's see what he can do. So he is currently sitting in P2, pole sitter from last week, and was setting the early pace in this session until Persigili picked it up from him. So on the main straight, 333 kph down the main straight into turn 1, full throttle, and try and keep the speed as much as possible through turn 1 and into the S's we go. And there's a little bit of traffic once again ahead of him. Let's see how he can manage to weave that off. That was a bit not ideal that there's a car there on the, not really on the racing line. So let's see what the sector 1 time says for Bailey. It's a 31.4, so he is a 10th up, and this is good enough for provisional pole if he can keep it up a little bit out of shape out of Degner 2, and then again braking in a straight line into the hairpin, and once again taking a little bit too much curb, and that immediately unsettles the rear end of the car. So he has to collect that before heading toward spoon curve, throw it in, and then just weave the throttle to try and pick up the pace onto the back straight. Looked pretty good through there to me. And then Bailey onward to sector 2, 109.5, so he is still up on his time, so this should be really close to what Persigili managed just a few moments ago. Really cutting the curves quite a lot into the final chicane, and he's abandoned that one, so okay. Wonder why. Maybe he lost a little bit of time cutting those curves a little bit too much, because they kind of, I don't know, the car tends to bottom a bit in the final chicane if you take too much of them.
Christian, I didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, Christian just coming up to the final corner sequence. So
oh my word.
Didn't see a sector 2 time, but
3/10 up.
Oh my word, this is going to be pulled then. Yep, 1:26.2.
There we go.
That is a fast time. And going to join Max as he is not far behind. Oh, it's a very busy track, I have to say. All full.
Yeah, there's and see that there's 3 cars ahead of him going into the final corner. Let's see. Hopefully they get out of the way here, and they do indeed. So lucky for Max to get away with all that traffic ahead of him, and he is up on his time. Let's see if we can do something about maybe P2 here. I don't think it's quite enough for Christian, so he goes P3. Lost a little bit of time there in the final sector.
Yep, a lot of drivers out on track here, so I'm trying to keep tabs on everyone. McKender is in sector 1, just started his lap. Percy Gelly.
Yep.
What are you saying? Oh, is that Percy
Yeah,
Gelly?
Yeah, exactly. He was almost out of out of the spoon curve, and I think he's given up on this lap because of that. So yeah, Percy Gelly will not improve on this lap.
Tuj on an odd lap. I've got McKender coming up to Dunlop corner. Should get an idea of what kind of time he's going to do here for sector 1.
He's
back
on a cooldown. Yeah, he's on a cooldown lap. He just set that 26.7, I think.
Oh yes, you're right. Yeah. Well spotted.
Yep. See, is there anybody? Joel, I think, is on a lap. Approaching spoon corner. Bit tentative on maximizing the track there for Joel, but he looked smooth enough through there. Let's see if he can close up on the cars ahead of him. And he is 7/10 up, so maybe. Yeah, corner to go.
Very tentative though, yeah. Through the final chicane, but should pick up a few positions here. P17 currently jumps up to. Oh, and he doesn't jump up at all. He did improve quite a bit though on his time.
Yeah, but lost again a little bit in the final sector. That final corner is surprisingly difficult to navigate in a in a fast way. But wow, that's really very difficult way to say that. But anyway, let's not worry about that. Tuj in sector 1, and he invalidates.
Yeah, that was very fast through the first Degner there, but took a little bit too much curb on the exit, and he invalidates that time. He was up in his sector 1 time too. I see another McLaren out there on a lap. But Eagle
Lars pits, so he will not settle up time.
Yeah, Eagle Ghost is the teammate, of course, of Christian, and Christian will welcome that today, as Christian did win last week, but without his teammate scoring points, wasn't able to take the constructors just yet. But Eagle, I have to say, he is a fast driver, one to watch, and he could well drive McLaren, with the help of Christian, of course, to the constructors title.
He's on like 2-lap old tires already now, so, and he's still up on his time, so wonder what he's doing out there.
Yeah, and the fuel,
because those are old tires.
If he does complete this lap, he might run out of fuel on the in lap. Let's see his sector 2 time though.
Yeah, but surely he would want to pit now and pick up a fresh set of boots for the final run, because there's only just under 4 minutes to go.
Yeah.
So, we'll see. He's still deploying full out onto the backstraight and marginally up on his time, but if he completes this lap, he will not have time to pit again for fresh tires. So I'm a bit surprised if he does that.
Yep.
Which he does. Okay.
27.5. That's him up to P9 for now. But
3-lap old tires. So maybe did he forget to change the tires or something? I don't know.
Yeah, strange, but in the top 10 for now. I might get pushed out now, and he won't be able to do another run, as you say. 3 minutes left on the clock.
Yeah, I would have at least pitted there for a fresh set of boots, but maybe he was unaware that he's on an old set of tires. Anyway, good effort for him for P9 with those 3-lap old tires.
Currently looking at Mazepin's right now in the Haas, P16 currently up in his sector 1 time by quite a number of attempts, so on for at least a few positions. Oh, as he locks up big time into the hairpin. gets away with it, it seems. Back onto the ERS and drives pretty well to Spoon Corner. And we're going to get an absolute hectic session here at session end. So many drivers going out on track right now for their final run as Mazvins goes out wide on the exit of Spoon and invalidates his lap time, so he want to recharge that ERS quickly as we are running out of time. He won't have time to get into the pits.
Yeah, and it will, as you said, be a real frenzy on the track with the final 2 minutes to go. Pretty much everybody on track right now, except for Larson, who is in the pit lane still, and he will not have time to go out for a run anymore, I think.
Yeah, so
just trying to check who's gonna be the first one on track. I guess Tilde.
Tilde, yeah. Let's have a look at Tilde.
Tilde has shown some, let's say, good performances as of late, and he's one of the cockpit cam drivers, isn't he? So he is.
Yeah.
No assists and cockpit cam, so the real way to race, right?
The real painful way to race, yeah.
Yeah.
But you have to respect it.
Exactly, yeah, that's what I was gonna say. And Tilde is improving in Sector 1. A little bit too much curb into Dagner 2. Let's see how he manages to navigate through the hairpin. Currently in P15, will have to pick up quite a bit of time to be able to improve his position. Almost 6/10.
Yeah.
But then if he manages to do that, there's like 3 cars with basically the same time.
Yep, and it looks like Persigilli and someone off ahead there.
Yeah, I think it was Mazevins.
See Bailey, Christian all starting their lap time, so we'll switch to them very soon as we watch Tilda's actually involved in his lap time, so that's his run over.
Yeah. I didn't even see where that happened, but he was like 5/10 up, so he would have been able to improve quite a bit there, and yeah, not get a position even with that time actually. So yep. Anyway,
it's Vikander who's going to cross the line first here, Ice, if I'm correct. Yeah, he's about to hit the final chicane for the last time of the session, and let's see what he's got in the tank. Currently P5. And does improve to P2. That is a good lap from him. 26.3, just 1/10, less than a 10th of pole position. As well.
Check. I think Persigili in Sector 2, he's right on the same sector time that Vikander set there. So let's see which one of the Finns will be able to take P2 here, except I guess also Bailey Thompson and Christian still have a say in this. And let's say Persigili across the line will actually take provisional pole there. Then Bailey Thompson steals it right away from him by a few 100th of a second, and Christian out of the final corner. Will it be enough? It's not. Christian stays in third. And then still Mex to come out of the final corner, but he's only 5/100ths up on his own time, so this should probably still be P5 for him. Yes, it is indeed. He does improve, but stays 5th. And Pep Matman also 3/10ths up, but probably not enough to pick up a position. But it's still a great lap from Pep Matman, the Tier 2 champ from last season, 26.7 for him as well.
Yeah, great showing from Pep Matman. The fastest Italian on track currently. We also have Flash and Crystals. Not far off there, but...
Yeah, you're gonna clip that for Crystals, aren't you? I know that.
I'm trying to motivate him, but you know, doesn't seem to be working right now. But yeah, they're quite going to be quite close together when they get underway.
But once again, I want to point out. Hopefully, this is not a curse for him, but Flash, P8. He really has. Like, if you want to pick somebody up in this game that has improved massively over the course of the last year or so, he has done a really good job. And let's say the beginning of this game cycle, you would not expect him to be anywhere close to X Horsey or Crystals or somebody like that. So actually ahead of Touche even in qualifying. So yeah, Touche may be a bit of a disappointment in this session.
Yep, grid showing from Flysharer, but Pet Madman representing Tier 2 well. And yeah, I think it's going to be a great race. Shaping up nicely, and a great final moments of that session there, as we saw the pole position switch hands a few times there, but Billy Thompson coming out on top in the end. And yeah, pretty much a repeat of last week then for Billy Thompson, but can he hold it together for the race?
Yeah, and it is extremely difficult to overtake here, so we'll see what happens. I think the strategy and the pit stop, timing your pit stop and maybe undercutting, overcutting will be very significant in this race. And it will be a one-stop race, I'm pretty sure, unless we get some sort of a safety car, because yeah, two-stopper just doesn't work here. You lose way too much doing that. We have information in chat that it is going to be a dry race, and it looks like pretty clear skies indeed.
Yep, shaping up for a great race. I'm very interested to see who's going to come out of turn 1, turn 2 ahead. And yeah, that tends to be where a lot of incidents happen. You know, side by side for turn 1, turn 2 can be a bit hairy. We may see fireworks there, but yeah, great to see Kit and Chad cheering. I wonder if he's crew chief in someone today. Also, Sandy and Chad. Hello, Sandy. Great to see you. And Naomi.
Yeah, we need more Finns on track. Sunday and Meepo and
yeah,
Daisy, whoever else is in the background there. Expect to see you on track in the future.
Yeah, it would be great to see maybe next game, or should I say next DLC. So Billy Thompson leading the way on the formation lap. Gives us a moment to have a look at tires. And what are you thinking tire-wise?
I mean, yeah, I was expecting everybody basically to be on medium, so Tush has decided to go for the alternate strategy in the other Ferrari, so maybe go long, pick up some positions on the fresh mediums toward the end of the race, barring any safety cars. Massivins on softs, that's questionable, I would say.
Yeah, that's a big question mark.
They won't go. Yeah, they will not go long into this race. I think the wear on this track on the softs is absolutely insane in the race. They wear like 11-12% a lap or something like that.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Yeah, that could
don't think that's gonna work out.
Could cause a bit of chaos at the start of the race, as he will be rapid for about one lap and then fall off.
Yeah.
Yeah, just Kid saying he's engineering Percy this entire season. That is interesting, yeah.
Okay. All right, and Persegili in a great position again for this race. I think the top 3 is the same as last week, isn't it? If I remember right. So.
Yeah, pretty much. Yep. McKenna did finish P2 in the end last week. A lot of penalties last week. I don't think this track lends itself well to penalties. We're not going to see as many as we did last week, but it is still possible, especially final chicane if you cut that too much. And
yeah. And I guess if you go a little bit wide in spoon or something, but yeah.
Here we go. I'm getting very excited.
It is possible to. Yep, and we're about to get underway. Last cars lining up onto the grid. Larson in the back, it is Williams. Waiting for the lights to come up, and we'll see whoever picks up the best start in this race. And still waiting. I don't see any lights anyway. I guess now we are finally getting the 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights are up, and we are go in Japan. Billy Thompson once again doesn't get the best of launches off the line. I think that's the same last week there. And Persegili is already leading into turn 1. McKender also fighting on the inside there of Christian, and I think he manages to pick up Christian actually there, because Christian had to get off the throttle a little bit on the outside of the of turn 1 there. So McKender up to P3. Great start for the Finns, and then we have a lot of squabbling in the background. I think there were like 3 cars 3 wide in the background there, and there's somebody off. One of the Haas drivers, Massavins, is off the track, and I think there's also Eagle Ghost who has had some sort of an issue there. So, yeah, three cars have had an issue early into the race. That's Eagle Ghost, Tilde, and Massavins, and once again some kind of fighting in the up ahead. I can't really pick up if there's damage in those cars, but X Crystals made a move there, at least up to P7. So, pretty frantic start there, I would say.
Yeah, very frantic. A lot of side-by-side action, especially in the Degner. It was a bit hairy there, so a driver had to go pretty wide off track. But yeah, Crystals, looks like he got an amazing start there, made the most of that, and is up to P7. He is currently the fastest Italian on track right now.
We have a yellow flag again. I'm not really sure who is that. That's Joel, I think, who has had an issue in Spoon Corner. So Joel is down to P19. What I was about to say was that this is the problem for Touche, who gets actually overtaken by 2 cars. Has Touche had an issue there as well? I'm not sure. Touche has damage in his on his front wing, so Touche will have to pit.
That's terrible.
Right away. And there's somebody else in the pits as well. That's Pep Madman. So great qualifying for Pep Madman. I guess he's also picked up damage somewhere. So that was indeed a very messy first lap.
Yeah, and you know what? Crystals is no longer the fastest Italian on track. It is Flash who somehow gets past him without the use of DRS on the start finish rate into turn 1, picks up P7.
Yeah, and Flash is up to P7 and he's 2.3 seconds off the pack ahead of him though, but I guess that's more or less the 5 or 6 drivers that we were expecting to run away with it, maybe at the beginning, but there was some kind of, I didn't really see what happened there in the mid pack there, because this 2.5 second gap I think is would not be otherwise. So yeah, a lot of incidents and contact on the first lap.
Yeah, close battle here between Eagle Ghost and Mike for P14. Looks like Eagle's trying to test him. Oh, and it looked like it did spook Mike a little bit there as he leaves the door wide open on the exit off Spood, and Eagle gets that position, and who's that falling through? Tilda follows through. So some battling going on at the back, but look at it, it's Percy Gilley and Billy Thompson side by side out of the last corner. So someone's had an issue there, and McKender as well joins the battle. McKender getting up to P2, so Billy Thompson is going to come under attack here, but defends that inside line, comes out ahead. And Jorsay and Max as well, so lots of battling here in the first lap. Or sorry, the first few laps. I
didn't really see what happened there, but I wonder if Bailey attacked McKender or something. I don't know exactly, but then also in the background, Horsey, X-Horse and Max have had some sort of a thing, because they're like 1.6 seconds away from this pack, so much going on at right now that I can't really keep up with everything.
Yeah, I think it was Percy Gilley. Maybe he was under attack there. I don't know. Someone seemed to made a mistake coming out of the last corner, and it just kicked off.
Yep. Yeah, I wonder if like Bailey was trying to attack him, or did he just maybe get a little bit loose out of the final corner? That's quite easily done, and we had a yellow flag somewhere in sector 1 again, but I'm not really sure what that was for, because that's already gone.
Yeah, so top 4 breaking away at this point, and we've got a small train between Jorsay, Max, then it's Flash and Crystals, then it's Horsey and Kevin, and Gecko as well in P11. Oh, as I say that, Kevin does get by Horsey. Sorry, how RC? How RC?
I'm really surprised to see so many moves on the back straight there. Like, that's not a DRS zone, but it's cool to see. I guess Horsey has damage as well, so yeah, I guess that's why he was a bit slow. There. He's picked up front wing damage, pits for a new front wing, and he didn't actually pick up a new front wing. Oh no! Just picked up a fresh set of parts, but I guess he's done the classic Massavins beats into the pit lane. But yeah, he's probably done the classic thing of not choosing yes, change my wing instead of having it on the auto. And he left it on the auto. That's what I mean.
Yeah, and lots of interesting tire marks all over the track from those first few laps. where people have
Yeah.
had issues. Eagle Ghost is out of the session.
Oh.
That is on track. That might be
Safety car.
It is indeed a full safety car. So what happened there? That's out of the second Degner. Looks like he's went straight on.
I mean, the wall is relatively close there, but that's a very, and you see all of these, you see, as you said, you see all those tire marks all over the place there. I have no idea what has happened there again, but that's a bit of a strange place to completely DNF, I think. So I don't know. But we have a full safety car. This is too early to pit and go for a one-stop here, but let's see what the leaders decide to do. Bailey Thompson does not pit. He's tricked McKender into pitting, maybe. I wonder if that actually was the whole idea there. But yeah, these guys choosing to stay out.
Yeah, some shenanigans there from Bailey Thompson. Christian stays out as well, copies Bailey Thompson. And Flash as well staying out, so interesting calls.
Yeah, McKender on 2 hards, and so do, of course, most of the Lars decides to pit. Oh, that's Crystal's actually pitting for another set of medium, so he has not yet filled the tire rule. McKender's comes out in P5, so there's really only Flash and Gecko ahead of him here, but this is definitely too early to go to the end on those hards. At least I'm fairly certain about that. That would be 23 laps on those hards. Some of those laps behind a safety car, but still, I think that's too long of a way to go.
Yeah, and I'm looking at Touche. I'm wondering, did he started on hards, but he did pit already, I thought. But he stays out on hards. So
yep, and he will still have to pit again because he has not yet filled the rule. Eagle goes. Oh yeah, he's left the session because he DNF'd. You know, my memory is great.
Yeah, this allows us some time to gather our thoughts and it's about to kick off again though in a couple of laps, so prepare yourself, guys.
Yeah, it's Christian and Bailey have a great chance to kind of pull away here a little bit and get at least some laps of free air together, because McKender and the rest of them will have to clear. Okay, I'm not sure what they're doing there exactly, but they were changing positions a couple of times. But anyway, McKender, Persigili, Larson, they will have to all clear. Larson is actually not pitted either, so McKender, Persigili, Mex, X-Horse, and so on, they will have to clear these slower cars to go after Christian and Bailey again.
Yeah, is there a chance these hards can get to the end? Like, is it possible, or do you think it's a no-go?
I honestly don't think so. I don't know if like somebody like Tunari in the chat might have more information or more educated guess than I have here, but I think it's really a long stretch to get these to the end. 23 laps, even if some of them are behind the safety car.
Eagle Ghost is confirming he did go straight. He says and just went straight, as if he had already said something already, but I don't see any previous message.
Yeah, but it's like after Degner one, if you mount that curb on the outside a bit too much, we're coming through there actually right now. So if you mount that curb, the car will bottom out and will just go straight. So I guess that's what happened there.
Yeah, unfortunate return to racing for Eagle Ghost. He will not score points in this session, but yeah, we do have an interesting race on our hands, as it is a bit mixed up now with Flash and Gecko in the top 5 there.
We actually do not see that message, by the way, but yeah, I guessed right, I guess. So yeah, that curve is we'll just bottom out the car and then can't really steer. So yeah, that's exactly what happened to him, I guess.
Yeah, and I think you can get the same effect coming out of the second Degner, is that right, on the outside curb?
Yep, and we are gonna go this lap. It's signal comes a bit late, as it always does, because the last sector starts there very late in the race. So Bailey Thompson will lead the pack away, and yeah, let's see if they can make this work with Christian. I think they can. They have a great chance to get a bit of space between them and the rest of the pack. And Bailey Thompson goes out of the final corner, gets a bit of wheel spin there, and we are racing again in Suzuka. And let's see how quickly McKender and the rest of the boys can clear up this duo of slower cars ahead of them. Flash and Phoenix Gecko ahead of McKender, but McKender will be stuck behind them at least through the first sector, so nothing really happening on the restart there. Oh, and as I say that, Pep Madman loses it out of the first corner and almost ends up in the wall there, but yeah, he's looked like cold tires to me.
Yeah, Larson on the straight there after the restart, losing 2 positions, looked like he didn't engage his ERS, and I think it might have been tactical decision just to allow the faster drivers through of Max and Jorte.
Oh, and McKender looking on the inside and does make that move in. He's managed to spook, or did he actually? He's gonna have to deploy quite a bit to get past him here, which he does because Phoenix Gecko did not deploy, and Persegili is now stuck behind him for at least a couple of corners here, and oh, they're all going a little bit wide there. Looks like they all have a little bit cold tires at this stage. McKender behind Flash, but we'll wait for the DRS, I guess.
Yeah,
which he will not get yet in the next lap run.
Larson dropping down even further. He's dropped 3 positions since the last 2.
Yep, Persegili sends it on the inside of Phoenix Gecko and goes up to P5. And now McKender has got a clear Flash here, but he has 2 seconds to gain to Christian and Bailey Thompson. So pretty much what I expected to happen here, as also Max makes his way past Phoenix Gecko there. So, yep, the fast boys are clearing their way through the pack quite quickly. But Christian and Bailey have at least this lap to breathe a little bit before McKender is on them.
Yeah, strategy is going to be key here, I think, as to who wins this race, with Bailey and Christian needing to pit. McKender possibly could stay out, but may also need to pit, so what a question mark.
I don't know, maybe, yeah, I was kind of wondering if Kit is actually engineering here. Maybe he can give us some kind of information about the tire wear per lap, if he wants to give that away. Persegili, that we might get some kind of an idea if it's at least somehow possible to maybe get to the end, but I think that's really a long stretch. McKender really cutting into that advantage of Christian ahead of him, 1.4 seconds away. Flash is out of DRS already, so I think he will be under pressure from Persegili. Maybe not Mex, because Mex is a bit far away on this lap, but Persegili will definitely be up to P4 after this main straight here.
Yeah, nice run out of the final corner there, engages ERS, 30% left in the tank. DRS open as well, so this should be easy, one and done for Persegili. Up to P4 on those hards. And we're gonna yellow
and
flag.
We have,
yeah, in the final corner, that's Mike doing a 360. And into the pits he goes. Oh, he decides not to.
Okay. Last second decision there. McKender still 1.4 seconds away. I would have expected him to maybe gain a bit more in this first sector here on those hard tires, because I guess the leading duos, mediums, are not going to be in the best of shapes anymore at this stage. But now McKender is really able to get on with it, 1.2 seconds away, so he should be within DRS range at the end of this lap, I guess. Persegili also closing up, and then Mex, I guess, on this lap will be able to get past Flash, who is still doing really well. I still want to point that out. Flash is really doing well on those old mediums in this train.
Yeah, and I had a look at X Crystals as well. It did run wide on 2 corners, so we may see a time penalty pop up for him pretty soon if he keeps that up. But let's have a look at Max. He's lining up Flash for a move, and I'll tell you what, let's go up front. Actually, Christian takes the lead of the race. Didn't see that one coming. But yeah, he's up to P1, Billy Thompson now down to P2, and yeah, McKenna ever closer as Max does indeed get past Flash. So a few positional changes on the start finish straight.
Also, X-Horse making a move on the main straight up to P7, so he will be the next guy to try to hunt down Flash for that P6.
Yeah, it definitely seems like the Hard's now the tire of choice. We've got a yellow flag, that's Mike in the pits. 3 cars out, and we're already in lap 10.
Yep. But anyway, McKender is on the leaders right now. Persigilli has not yet managed to catch up to the leaders, which slightly surprising maybe to me. I would have expected him to also cruise up to the back of that pack. He will eventually do that, but not as quickly as I expected it to happen. And I don't know, but see, McKender, I think in McKender's interest would be to really push these guys now and try to make a move on these guys, because I don't know if it's gonna be really a long stretch if he will try to get those tires to the end. McKender trying to deploy, but Bailey also has DRS ahead of him, so it's not really, it's really difficult to overtake if you're even if you're the car following there. Christian making a bit of a mistake in the turn one, goes a bit wide there, and allows to Bailey Thompson and McKender to close up, but no moves. I wonder if Christian and Bailey are working together here, or are they fierce rivals? I don't know.
Yeah, it's hard to tell with those two, as Phoenix Gecko picking up the first time penalty of this session. McKenna might, like, with the Hards, like, they seem like they're much better in this kind of twisty parts of the track. He might try something in the spoon or something like that, just to try something unconventional, because trying to pass these two on a straight with the DRS train activated is going to be very tough, as McKenna closer than ever on the back of Billy Thompson, and Christian again looking like he got a bad line through spoon. Not costing him too much time though, but McKenna is very, very close on the back of Billy Thompson, under 3/10. Is he able to do something, as Persigilli is closing up as well behind?
The problem is that it's really difficult to pick up good enough exit out of the final corner from McKender. Let's see if he manages to do that, but it's just tentative. Yeah, Bailey Thompson pits.
Yep, and this will allow McKender now to attack Christian. Christian, of course, will not have DRS, but he's not going to get it done this time round. Maybe next time, but I think Christian will respond to Billy Thompson's pit stop there, and probably pit this lap coming.
Yep, Bailey will fall very far behind because of that pit stop, so he will basically be second to last on track. So he has his work cut out for him. And now I guess the really interesting question is, can those tires, is there even like a theoretical possibility that those tires go to the end? For McKender, Persigilli, Mex, and the likes of that.
Yeah, Christian doing a good job though of keeping this gap to McKender. It's 5/10. I thought McKender would close up pretty rapidly, but yeah, Christian needs a bit of a gap here coming out of the final quarter to defend if he does decide to stay out. I'm assuming he's going to come into the pits, but you never know with Christian.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he will pit this lap. There's really nothing to gain staying out, I guess, unless he tries to fish out for a safety car or something like that. But McKender should be able to clear him in either case on this lap. Christian does stay out, as you said. You never know with him. And McKender deploying quite a lot onto the main straight. Is this going to be enough for him into turn one? And Christian runs out of battery just before turn one. McKender on the inside there and makes that move stick. That was just enough on the main straight to be able to pull alongside that. And that's what I mean by it's really difficult to overtake. You have to deploy everything to get past there.
Yeah, and Flash into the pits. Comes out, looks like it's going to be around about P15. But yeah, I wonder if Christian's thinking if he stays out a bit longer, he might be able to avoid some of the traffic that Billy Thompson's had to navigate through. But yeah, he has to pit soon, right?
Yeah, I don't really see. I think even if he, I don't know. I'm not really sure what he is doing here. He's like trying to think of what's the thinking here. But I don't know. Christian obviously comfortable enough to stay out on those tires for now, and maybe he just wants fresher tires toward the end of the race. I guess maybe that could be it. I just don't know.
Yeah, but I think he has to pit this lap. Look at the time delta that McKender's able to pull out on just one lap. 1.2, so yeah, Christian not able to get DRS this time around, may opt to go into the pits. Looks very likely as Persigilli falling very closely out of the last corner. Yeah, Christian into the pits. It'll be very interesting as to where he comes out. Where is Billy Thompson on track right now?
It's gonna be behind Joel, I'm pretty sure. But let's see, Persigilli 1.3 seconds away, so he's not quite in DRS range out of McKender, but let's see where Christian comes out. He's in the pit box right now, and Bailey Thompson is on the main straight. Also, Joel is blasting down the main straight, so Christian will be ahead of Joel, actually. Okay, so it's a bit of a shorter pit stop than I expected it to be, but he's behind Bailey in P13, 2.7 seconds away, and it will take a few corners to warm those hards up.
Yeah, very interesting. Christian 2-lap fresher tires. Is he able to make that count over the next?
Yep.
Yeah, half of the race pretty much. He does have a lot of time, a lot of laps to work with, so it's not over for him just yet. But yeah, things are looking like the momentum's shifting towards Billy Thompson right now.
Yeah, and Bailey Thompson has really caught up this massive train and instantly gets a bit of a contact with Pepman.
Oh!
There's what happened there? There's those two cars basically get out of the way for Bailey, so that was lucky for him. But I think he like bumped him a bit in entering in the.
Yeah, I was surprised I didn't see any damage on Billy's car there, but it doesn't look like there's any visual damage.
Yeah, and Christian having to get back out of that. With these two cars fighting ahead of him, and he will have to deploy quite a bit to get past these boys on the back straight, which he does at least clear Tilde here, and will clear Pepman on the main straight. I think, was it Pepman who picked up, trying to see here, so Pepman has damage in his car. That's really quite unfortunate for him. Crystal's pits, and yeah, Christian should be able to cover, can't speak today, clear Pepman on the main straight, which he does up to P10, but he's now 3.5 seconds away from Bailey Thompson as a result of that scrap. And there's somebody off again in the front grunt. That's Lars.
Yeah. Lars. And it was something to do with Billy Thompson, I think. Billy Thompson did make a move there.
Lars is in a really awkward position in his... And he's... have to get on with it now, I guess. Yeah, there's a gap there, but that was really...
That is a precarious
dangerous.
position.
And there's again a yellow flag.
That's Horsey.
Yeah, so Horsey has been off as well, and again a bit of a dangerous rejoin there, straight in the path of Joel. And lots going on all over the track.
Yeah, chaos in the midfield right now.
So Bailey basically got onto that pact, and they all just evaporated out of his way, and he is up to P7 now, 5.2 seconds of clear road ahead of him.
Yeah, good news for McKender, but Persigilli just very, very, very close under the back of McKender, but not close enough to get that DRS activated.
Yeah, should get it on this lap, I guess. So Persigilli has managed to claw up that gap a bit there. Let's see. I'm just kind of thinking here, what will McKender do? Because if he would pit now, he would come out somewhere between Bailey and Christian, but I don't think he will pit. So Bailey 19 seconds away from the lead, Christian. So if these tires do go to the end, I think there's no way these guys will be able to catch up. Those guys will be able to catch up to McKender and gang. And we had a yellow flag again somewhere.
Yeah, I think that was X
Not sure what
Crystals
that
coming
was.
out of the final corner. He's dropped down a lot of time and finds himself in P15. So, yeah, lots kicking off in the mid part of this race, but Billy Thompson, let's have a look. 3.4 ahead is Touge. He is closing in quite quickly onto this lead pack. But there is some gaps up ahead. Like, look at that. 8.6 from P3 to P2. 4.7 from Kevin to Mex. Billy will have to gun it, absolutely gun it here. And yeah, we still don't know. Are these guys going to have to pit again?
Yeah, that is the question, isn't it? Persigili does manage to get that DRS on this lap. He's completely out of battery, but he will be able to charge it a bit through the through the first and middle part of the lap.
Touge may go for
Bailey
a
Thompson
move here.
sets the. Yep.
Oh, and he's, yeah, oh my word, what happened there? Looked like he's going to go around the outside, opted for the inside line, but not able to get that done. It looked like Kevin was defending hard with battery, able to keep the position for now, which is bad news for Touge. And Touge has to pit still, I think.
Yeah, definitely. He has not filled the tire rule yet, so he will have to pit.
Oh,
Crystals. Okay, in the pit lane.
The fastest Italian to pit, or sorry, to DNF.
Yeah, really roasting him today.
Oh, Touge getting a good run out of the hairpin, even on these older tires. And Kevin having to defend
Bailey
hard.
Thompson is right behind these guys, by the way, so that's also going to be interesting to see what happens. But can Bailey just cruise past these guys with those fresher tires?
Yeah, and he's got more ERS in the tank as well, I think. Using a lot
Not
of
really,
it.
he's got less actually than these two, but does he want to actually send it into the final corner here? That's what it looks like for Bailey. He's really going to be aggressive here. Is he going to go on the inside of Touge at least? There was not really space to go on the Red Bull, and Bailey trying to hang it out on the outside there. That's really brave of him, and he does manage to pick up Touge in the end onto the main straight. So that is really a critical move for Bailey Thompson, as McKender has pitted now ahead of them. Actually, I completely missed that in the midst of that action. So McKender comes out behind Christian on very fresh hards, of course.
Yeah, he's put himself in a really good spot now with that pit stop. That was nicely timed and comes out in a good position right behind Christian, as you said.
Yep, McKender on the freshest tires of everybody, of course, right now. Persigili stays out, so I wonder if he will now gamble and try to go to the end, because if he can make those tires last, I think he is far enough ahead to be in contention for the win here. We have a yellow flag once again, but there is really nothing there, so I'm not really sure what that was about.
Yeah, Billy Thompson picked up another position there, Ice. Up to P4 he goes. Looks like Kevin was defending quite hard. Cost Billy Thompson some time. And yeah, we've got quite a number of people queuing up behind Kevin to get by. This is going to be crucial.
Yep.
Touge, Christian, McKender, all looking to get by Kevin on these older tires. Touge on the oldest tires of a lot of them. Oh, Touge getting some lag from Kevin. So this is very chaotic.
Would expect Touge to pit maybe this, which he does, and then Christian is behind Kevin. Kevin did pick up DRS though, so that's not ideal for Christian and McKender. Touge in the pits will of course pick up those medium tires.
Oh, and Christian going for a move. It's in the S's. Oh, and there's a bit of a touch from Kevin on Christian, as Christian and McKender going around the outside. That is very daring for McKender. Is he going to keep it? Yeah, he keeps it down. Gets that move from Kevin. That is yeah, that's incredible. Yeah, you don't usually see that in the S's, but it needed to be done, didn't it? I mean, they have to be on it. They have to cut through this field, yeah, and just overtake these guys on the older tires as quickly as possible if they've any chance of winning this race.
Yep, and They are through now, 1.4 seconds away from Bailey Thompson, which they should be able to close up, I think, at least with those fresher tires. And they are about 17, 18 seconds away from the lead. So Persigili, if he can make those tires last, and he still does not pit, has this covered for now. But it's gonna be a gamble, I think, to get those tires to the end. And also X-Horse and Mex looking like they want to stay out and try to get those tires to the end.
Yeah.
They will be caught up by the back behind them. Mex tries a move on the X-Horse into turn 1, does not quite find the gap on the outside there.
Yeah, he might have been better going for the inside line there, but last second he decided to go around the outside, but nothing happening for now for Max. And yeah, this is going to be very interesting. Billy Thompson is going to close up on these guys pretty fast. Christian just tantalizingly close to that DRS range of Billy Thompson.
Yeah, I'm thinking Flash also on Joel here, so that and maybe McKender and the fight for P4 together with Bailey and Christian are basically the closest battles on track right now.
But that gap from Billy Thompson to Persigili has closed down rapidly there. I mean, I think you said 18 seconds not too long ago. It's now...
Yep.
Yeah, it's now like
15.
14, 15, yeah.
Yep, and I'm just taking a look at the lap times of Bailey's last lap time was 30.7, and Persigili's last lap time was 31.8, so they're about a second faster, but that's... If Persigili can get those tires to the end, that's not enough to catch up to him. There's only 7 laps to go, so... Yeah.
Yeah, and I think you already said Touge P10, but on fresh medium, so one to watch out for as Max takes P2, but we've got McKender trying to go around the outside of Christian, and doesn't get it done. That inside line was far superior. Christian able to hold that position for now. That was a daring move from McKender, but not able to stick for now. Flash up to P8, gets past Joel on the start-finish straight.
I think McKender's strategy is just going to be try to push these guys ahead of him to get those positions, but it is really difficult to overtake here, especially if you're like the third car in the DRS there, because the guy ahead of you will be able to defend quite easily, even if he doesn't have that much battery.
Yeah, it can be quite frustrating, but cool heads prevail, and I think you're right. I think it's, I mean, if Persigili can get these tires to the end, Billy Thompson looks like he probably not going to get there in time, because he still has to pass a few guys as well.
I'm looking at Persigili's lap times. He has done a 31.7, 31.8, 31.9, so it's sort of slowly drifting the pace off him, but so is Bailey Thompson's pace, so it's they're about a second a lap faster, but there's only 6 laps to go now. McKender once again really close to Christian. Does Christian have enough battery to defend it again? McKender deploying everything onto the main straight, and Christian does run out of battery, but it's still not enough for McKender to get past him on the main straight. That is the difficulty of passing at Suzuka. If you have somebody who is at least relatively close to your pace. Because you will not be able to surprise Christian in the assist. That's not gonna happen.
Yeah, as long as he has a bit of ERS to protect himself. He does have that DRS as well. Yeah, it's just nigh on impossible.
Yeah, I guess the interesting thing is gonna be when these guys cruise up to the back of X4s and possibly Max on those older tires. So that's gonna be a battle to watch, I guess, because they are quite rapidly closing up to them. Persigili completely on his own in the lead of this race, and we have not got any information about tire wear. Kit, I'm looking at you, but he's
not
keeping it to himself.
Yeah, keeping his cards close to his chest. I'm gonna have a look at Persigili on board here. I want to see how he does through through the S's here, see what kind of grip we're seeing, or is he nursing those tires, taking it nice and easy?
And again, Christian gets a really bad exit out of the final corner, but he still has battery to defend from McKender, so I think McKender's still unable to attack him on the main straight, and Christian just doesn't seem to be able to attack Bailey Thompson either. So this trio still in the same order. Yeah, how did Persegili do? I completely cut off you there, Chief, sorry.
No, I switched to the action there, but yeah, it looks like he kind of run wide there out of the second Degner, but yeah, it looks like he's just focusing on smooth steering, trying not to lock up too much. As Bailey Thompson gets a 3-second time penalty, that is for the Degners, I believe.
Yep.
Easy done, yeah, but that is going to hurt him massively. He's going to drop down at least 2 positions from P4. And that scupers his chance of any chance of a win today, I think, is out the window for him.
And they're gonna try. It looked a little like a little while there that he's gonna try and spoon on Christian to try and surprise him. Maybe not quite able to do that. And now Bailey Thompson is gonna cruise up to the back of X Horse here, and is he? He's gonna wait for the DRS, I guess. Before making that move, or is he actually gonna attack him already here, which he does into the final chicane here. So Bailey Thompson, a bit surprisingly, chooses to go for that move. He does not have, he does have DRS actually, because the detection point is earlier there on the straight. So Bailey will be able to cover this off, but X-Horse, I think, will be under pressure from Christian behind him into turn 1. Christian on the inside, and then McKender also trying to capitalize on that battle on the inside of X-Horse, and does manage to do that. McKender actually on the outside of Christian through the S's. Will he be able to pull that off there? Kind of stuck together a little bit there, so McKender somehow manages to make that move. He's up to P4, Christian down to P6 again, so yeah, that was a bit touch and go through there, and they kind of hooked wheels a bit in turns through 3 and 4, but McKender is up to P4.
Yeah, that was incredible. That might be the move of the season. It definitely is, to date, the best move I've seen from McKender. Up to P4, that might be crucial for him. But yeah, Bailey Thompson didn't get DRS on that start finish rate, but because of that battling behind him, he was able to keep the position. And yeah, he is currently P3 with that time penalty, of course. McKender is outside of DRS range for now, but does have the far superior tire wear advantage.
Yep, Persegili in the final corner, and going across the line, he will have 3 laps to go on those tires. It's going to be 22 laps to get those tires to the end. Bailey Thompson already makes the move on Max, so once again trying to, and he does get that DRS. He doesn't really have any battery to defend this with, but I think that DRS might still have him covered on the main straight here, because Max did not get DRS. He has a lot more battery though, but yeah, I think he will stay behind him. McKender also closing up to this duo here. So Christian has also managed to clear X-Horse on the main straight, but he is now 2 seconds drift of McKender.
Yeah, and I think Max had plenty of ERS to play with there. He could have attacked, maybe, but decided not to. Maybe because he's reserve driver today, doesn't want to get too much in the mix of this battle for the podium.
Yeah, and he didn't really have anything to gain by doing that. Yeah. I think his tires are going to be really on the edge of getting those to the finish, so he doesn't really have tire durability to play around with, I guess, fighting people. McKender is going to instantly go for it on the, is he on the outside, going towards Spoon. Max decides to fight this one off though, so he's not going to give this for free. So McKender stays behind him at least a few more corners. Max once again will be able to, he will actually get DRS onto the main straight, I think, here, because he's deploying so much onto this back straight here. So McKender, that's gonna be interesting for McKender. I don't think he's gonna be able to clear Max here unless he gets a really good exit out of the final corner, which he doesn't really manage to do. McKender almost drops it on the, and does drop it a little bit on the exit there, but he somehow hangs onto that. I think it was going straight for the pit wall there, but yeah, he does manage to hang on to that somehow. Oh yeah, my god.
Nice save from McKender there. That was incredible. I did think he was going to hit that pit wall entry pretty hard there, but gets away with it. Yeah, Billy Thompson not closing in too fast on Percy Gilly. He's picking up a few times here and there, but not enough. We are on the penultimate lap. Percy Gilly, if he can nurse these tires for 2 more laps, 1.5 to be precise, he will take this win today. And I'll tell you what, with Christian in P5 currently, this is going to be a huge haul of points for Percy Gilly, who may well come out of this race top of the Drivers' Championship.
Kender once again is trying to find some way past Mex, which he, I think, finally does now, just before Spoon corners on McKender up to P3, and he is heading for another P2, actually. He was P2 last week, right?
Yeah.
Also, so Bailey with that 3-second penalty.
Yeah, and
it's easy pickings for McKender.
Percy Gilly just needs to nurse these tires for 1 more lap. Can he do it? Are they going to pop? I'm sure they're very close to it, but he's got that gap, so he doesn't have to push too hard.
Yeah, and the pace has really not dropped off for him. He's still about a second slower, but still doing surprisingly well on those old tires.
Yeah.
31.9 last lap, so he's only a couple of tenths shy of his, let's say, 5-6 laps ago, the pace. So he has done really well on to hang on to these tires, and a really deserved win if he can get this last lap home.
Yeah, I think once he gets past Spoon, he's good for the win, because, I mean, after the Spoon, you've got the pretty much straights all the way down to the final chicane. How RC picks up a 3-second time penalty. Joel in P10, we got a yellow flag. That's some Mercedes. I think it's Tilda actually.
Yeah, Tilda. I was kind of thinking that no way, that's Joel once you said that, but it was Tilda.
Come on, Joel, you can do it, bro. Percy Gilly coming out of Spoon. Is his tire going to pop? It doesn't. It looks like he's got this win in the bag. First win of the season for Percy Gilly. If he can just get to the final chicane, I think he's got this in the bag. And McKender closing up, and Billy Thompson doesn't need to pass him for this position though, but may just go for it anyway, as Percy Gilly does indeed come out of the final chicane with his tires intact. It's the first win for him, and he slows down on the line. What a win from Percy Gilly. What a crazy race. Great strategy calls from Percy Gilly to win that one. Billy Thompson crossing the line P2, but drops down to P4 as McKender and Christian making up the rest of the podium. So that's a good recovery drive from Christian after that incident with McKender. Next,
look at those gaps.
Oh yeah,
look at those gaps. Jave in P4 and 5, so Bailey just 2 tenths behind Christian, and Max 5 milliseconds behind Bailey.
Yikes. Extra say P6 in the end. Kevin with a great finish, P7. Touge only able to get up to P8 after that first lap incident he was involved in. Really compromised the strategy, as he did start on those hards. Flash maintains, yeah, Flash in P9, so not a bad showing from him. And of course Joel across the line P10 gets a point for his effort today. And what a crazy race. Very hard to keep up with at times, and that's the way we like it. Keeps us on our toes.
Yeah. And Joel does pick up that P10, so good job from Joel.
Yeah, I'm interested to find out Percy Gilly's tire wear at the end there. It didn't seem like he was struggling too hard or having to really conserve too much. Great pace throughout that final stint for Percy Gilly, but it looks like that was the call to make. Stay out, avoid the traffic.
Yeah, and I guess one of the big points there is that these are the hardest set of tires. So C1, I think, is the tire set there. So yeah, those hards, even if they are quite worn, they will not drop off that much. So yeah, I'm just looking at his lap times. He's been really consistent throughout the entire race. So really deserved win for Percy Gilly to make those tires last to the end. McKender picks up P2, so 1-2 for the finish, boys. Christian in third. And it's a good question. How does this now actually turn I think Christian will still lead or will he? No, I think it will be tied with Christian and Persigili
Oh,
for
very good.
P1 in the driver standings, and then Makander is just 4 points behind them. So yeah, interesting.
And the game nominated Joel for Driver of the Day.
I mean, it's not too far away. I guess he kept his cool in such a crazy race, because we have seen time and again that Joel does not always manage to keep his cool in these kind of situations. But he kept his cool pretty home in P10, and also Joel did those 23 laps on those hards, by the way. So
Yeah, good job for Joel. Yeah. And let's have
it's
a
not
look.
too bad of a call, I would say, for driver of the day. If you want to pick up somebody else, like something different for a change.
Yeah. Just having a look in chat here. Persigili, does he tell us what his tire wear was in chat? Oh, 77. There we go. 77. So, yeah, just over the limit. Um,
Mm.
75s when you get in danger of the tires going, but worked out today. And yeah, I'm having flashbacks to a race where you hit 75 and your tire just went, didn't it? At
It's happened like
Japan.
3 or 4 times for me. It's instant blow up. It's once was in Japan. That was my
Yeah.
going to be my first win, actually.
Yeah, yeah. Sorry to bring that up
And
again.
then I checked on the main straight. The tire wear is 74, and I'm like, okay, we'll see what happens. I accelerate out of turn 1, and it pops. Yeah.
Indeed. Let's have a look. We've got Max in the wings here, so let's bring him in for a little chat about that race. Looked like a fun race out there today, Max. How did it go? How was the overall experience for you?
It was weird. Yeah, I tied safe too much, sadly. But other than that, it was really fun.
Yeah, it looked like there was different phases of that race. You know, the safety car kind of split the strategies up. So what was your thinking with the pit stop there?
I thought it would be the best strategy because I know overtaking is really difficult on this track, even with a tire advantage. And getting the pit stop done early, I knew it would be tough to get these tires to the end, but that was always my attempt at this, and I was way too safe on it. I did not even reach 70% at the end, and I mean that I dropped off the pace so much because I thought I would not be able to go to the end if I just drive normal,
Yeah.
and that cost me way too much.
Yeah, and we saw in quali you qualified P5 and then in the race ended up P5. So yeah, I mean it seemed like a hard fought P5 though, especially at the end there coming under attack from some of
Mhm.
those fast boys, Christian and Billy, etc. Were
Yep.
you? I know you're reserved today. Were you kind of like, was that playing in your mind a bit? Your reserve here. You weren't one to fight too hard, to get onto that podium because it looked like you had a chance at the podium today.
I definitely had one. At least I was 5 thousandths behind Bailey, and Christian overtook me in the second to last corner. So
Yeah.
obviously I had a chance, but I personally just don't really fight as much, even if I am a main driver. So I did not think I'm a reserve, so I just stay a bit out of it. I just wanted to do my best, and yeah.
I actually had you down for the win today. If you look at the start of the stream chat, I did say Max for the win, so that yeah, that didn't go according to plan. But I thought you were a dark horse today, and definitely had the pace.
I had no practice at all because I thought I wouldn't be able to drive.
Oh dear, oh dear. Okay, well, yeah, well, hopefully we'll see you in future races this season. Seems like you're a good fit in Tier 1, able to mix it up with the top boys, so may see a race win from you yet this season.
Hmm.
But thanks anyway for joining
Probably, I
us.
hope so.
Yeah, yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I will be cheering you on in the sidelines, but yeah, appreciate you taking the time to join us in the booth for a quick chat after that race. So you can go and have a wee let on now. I'm sure that took it out of you, that one.
Yeah.
Okay. And cheers. Oh yeah, like I say, hopefully we'll see you in future races, this season.
Not next week, but the week after that, if I can get a seat. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, we look forward to it. And yeah, thanks again, Max, for your time.
No problem. Have a nice evening.
Okay, who do you reckon next, guys? We've got Billy, Christian, and Joel. Holy Trinity.
Yeah, let's bring in Joel in this. Just mix it up a bit.
Yeah. Okay. So we got Joel in the booth with us. Joel, what an incredible race from you today. I mean, you must be very happy with that finish.
I mean, it's my first points in about a year, so yeah. I didn't do a single lap of practice. I've been working the last 2 days for ages, so basically just turned up, used a 1-year-old setup almost, and well, not 1-year-old because the game's only half a year. You know what I mean? And just drove, and it worked, I guess.
Yeah, and even that really long stop there. What was your tire wear at the end?
89.
89. Okay, so pushing it, but you managed to get it to the end. So yeah, well done.
Yeah.
I was happy to see that.
Yes, and as I said to Fede, we're now equal on points, so I'm equally as quick as him.
So are you now the fastest Italian?
Yeah.
Yeah, Joel, it was great to see you cross the line in that P10, picking up that point. Yeah, I mean, Japan, it's a great track. I think you like that track, don't you, judging by previous seasons? So maybe that experience kind of paid off today.
Yeah.
You were caught up in that midfield. You know, you were seeing a lot of chaos around you. So how did you handle all that? Because it seemed like it was a lot of fireworks happening down there at several points in the race.
Yeah, I mean, I got into a bit of a tangle with Lars on the second or third lap, I think, but I didn't lose too much time, so I just caught back up to them. But yeah, it's difficult, especially when you know there's no ghosting. You got to be a bit extra careful, and then you get down the grid and you find yourself behind people who don't know how to find the accelerator, so it's quite frustrating, especially on this track. Like, you just can't overtake and get until you get to the start-finish straight. Maybe like after 130R, but other than that, and the dirty air through spoon is really horrible. So taking it from someone who can't actually take that corner properly on their own in time trial, it makes it a lot worse. But no, it was quite fun. But I guess the second part was a bit lonely. But I'd rather that than be in a battle for 18th.
Yeah, but still well held. Well held, I think, because we have how should I say this? Sometimes you're not able to focus for that lengthy of a period on your own. So I thought that was impressive from you.
Well, yes, backhanded compliment. I love it. Thank you.
Yeah. But you get what I mean. It's with
Yes, yeah.
with all the respect. So yeah.
Yeah, and you missed last week's race, so you know you've got a every race you've done this season is points, man. So long may it
Yeah.
continue. Spain next week, though. What do you reckon?
I mean, I'm not necessarily a fan of the track. I think I've got decent pace for my standard, but we'll just see. I mean, I didn't do any practice here and I got points, so it just shows it's all about just applying yourself and focusing on the race, really.
Good job. Yeah, you're definitely a contender for driver of the day, Joel. And we're honored to have you join us in the booth. We will speak soon, I'm sure. But yeah, good luck for the next few rounds. Looking forward to seeing you back on track again.
Thanks.
All right, that's Joel. Let's see who bring in next. Maybe Billy Thompson, and started the race in pole position, finished race in P4. What a chaotic race out there. I mean, the strategy was a bit scuffed in terms of, safety car, but yeah, you decided to stay out on that safety car. It looked like was it you that did the old switcheroo? You tried to feint into the pits and pulled out last second. Is that right?
Yeah, and then they actually all did go in the pits, and
Yeah.
I was like, oh, okay then. So
Yeah, it didn't quite work out in the end, but yeah, it seemed like the traffic was a big issue then. You know, you came out pretty much in, I think it was almost last, if I remember correctly, after
yeah.
that pit stop. So yeah, just tell us about that, that decision to make that call to stay out on those old mediums, and also about that incident you had with, I think it was it McKender or there's someone you had an incident with. It's all a blur to me.
Yeah, I'm assuming it's Lars.
Lars, that was it. Yeah, Lars. Yeah. Oh yeah, and
And
yeah, just coming up to the S's. Yeah.
I mean, the decision to stay out, I had no idea what to do. I was leader. I had just like gotten the lead like 2 laps ago after losing it, so I didn't really know what to do. It was a bit like Australia at the start of last season where the safety car came out early and everyone else pitted. And it was exactly like that. And it was just me and Christian at the front. But, I mean, what shocked me was even on one mediums, McKender wasn't like cruising up to the battle bus. Percy Gelly wasn't either. And Mex was tyre saving so hard that we'd pulled to like a 6-second gap on him. So I was like, okay, well, I'm feeling a bit better now. I think we can catch some of these guys. And that's what happened. I mean, a lot of the people in the midfield, I didn't even get past. They just crashed in front of me.
Yeah, I picked up on that, and I think I even said it on stream. Like Bailey Thompson got up behind this queue of 5 cars, and they all just evaporated.
Literally, they all just died. Like Tilda
Yeah.
and Pep just crashed in the hairpin. Oh, okay, and then then the Sauber died at Degner 1. And Lars, the incident with Lars ran wide, turn 2, and I'm like, well, don't mind if I do. I'll snake it up the inside. And the racing line is you're on the curb. He was not on the curb, so I just didn't expect him to be that far over. But that is not the incident that made him spin. I watched this back. He comes off, his wheel is straight, and then he wiggles it and spins. And there was no contact for the second half of that incident. He span all on his own.
Yeah, and
So I will be taking.
if I remember correctly,
No
did
fault
you
for
have
that.
you had a run in with him last week as well, didn't you?
Yeah, it's becoming a theme.
Yeah, it seems to be.
Yeah.
It does seem to be. But yeah, I mean, look, you definitely had the pace to win today. Just with the shenanigans, it wasn't to be. But P4 in the end, some good haul of points there, and still within touching distance in the drivers and the constructors. Are we looking for a win in Spain? Do you think that could be the one?
Well, I mean, I hope so. This should have been it, if I'm honest. I practiced a lot for this race because I actually could practice.
Yeah.
And I got on the lead, and I felt pretty confident that I could just chill there for the whole race, like no issues. And then the stupid safety car comes out. I mean, and even the penalty was so, like I lifted and lost like 3 tenths, and I still got the penalty.
Yeah.
I was flabbergasted. It's just, yeah, I don't really know. Probably. I won last time we were at Spain, so I'll just try and do it again.
Yeah, look forward to that, Billy. But yeah, unfortunate, but pole position today again. That's back-to-back poles, I believe.
Yeah, I'm the new Christian. Good in qualifying, bottles on the race, apparently.
Yeah, well, it looked like a fun race anyway, so hopefully you did have some fun out there, and we look forward to seeing you back on track in Spain next week.
Yep. Alright, see you guys.
Alright, see you, Billy. So last but not least, let's bring in Christian, who started the race in P3. Hello, Christian, sorry. You started P3, finished P3, yeah? So,
Yep.
that was an interesting race, I have to say. I saw that incident. It was McKender and you. Bit of a moment, shall we say? Lost you a lot of time, and I think, yeah, scuppered any chances finishing any higher up. But I have to say, P3 in the end, that was a great finish. We are just talking to Billy Thompson there, just about the fact that you two stayed out on those mediums. Is that, you're looking back now? Is that obviously something you might have regretted doing?
Absolutely, 100%.
Yeah, stupid question.
We just thought, okay, it's lap 5 is too early, and then 2 laps under the safety car, we we knew. We were like, okay, we came out of the pits and we immediately knew, okay, we screwed up big time.
And you stayed out
But
2 laps later than Billy Thompson's pit stop. So what was that thinking there?
but the fact that he was in traffic anyways, and
Yeah.
the over undercut isn't that powerful around here anyways. So yeah, I thought, why not? I mean, I just do something different, I guess.
Yeah, and you know that result today. I don't know if you've seen the results that Jules posted there, but you and Persigilli now tied for the lead of the drivers with oh yeah, Red Bull Ferrari for the constructors tied as well for that P1 spot. Your uh, P3 McLaren Eagle Ghost obviously having that DNF today wasn't the way you wanted to go, but yeah, I mean. It's looking like a very tight championship, which is great for us. I mean, are you enjoying it yourself so far?
Yeah, I mean, other than a dumb decision, it's been 2 very fun races actually. Very intense races. Which is, it's always enjoyable, but I'd rather win by 10 seconds.
Yeah.
But
But
yeah,
what are you reckon about the
that
next
would.
track then, Spain?
But oh, hey. Wait, let me check. Spain. What? Oh yeah, League of. Bailey is usually pretty happy about Spain. If I didn't already tell you that. I've never liked it.
Pain.
I think there's only one track.
Yeah.
There's one
Yeah.
track I like on this game. So yeah.
Yeah, well, we'll look forward to seeing how you get on next week. It does seem like Billy Thompson is gunning for a win, and maybe Spain is his track. He's getting all these poles, but unable to convert it to wins. And
Yeah.
yeah, it's looking like it could get very spicy this season. I have to say though, your battle with McKender during this race, some moments there between the two of you, and I think you came off the worst for wear after one of them. It seemed like McKender just came out of nowhere. Can you remember that moment, and like what was your kind of take on that?
The incident.
Yeah, you were. I think you got run off wide, but I mean, it seemed like
Yeah.
the tires got hooked up a little bit.
Yeah. I was making a pretty aggressive move on one of the other guys who was on old tires, and I just sent it deep into turn 1 and then went wide in turn 2, and then we went side by side in turn 3, and I don't know if I was whining or no, I'm gonna I have to see it again, but I my first reaction was screw you, McKenna, basically. But I think it's just one of those incidents where you hook wheels and you're just going off track either way. I mean, it's just unfortunate. But yeah, I felt like I was pushed off track. But if you ask McKenda, he didn't push me off. It's yeah, two-sided story every time, I guess.
Yeah, some hard racing for sure, but enjoyable from the spectator point of view at least. But Christian, yeah, we're heading to Spain next week, so we'll look forward to seeing you back in action for that one and defending the title as a reigning Tier 1 champion, finally getting your role.
Yay!
Finally, it only took a few
I've
months.
never been so happy than when you added whatever the hell it's called.
Yeah.
Tag me.
Yeah. No worries. And yeah, cheers for joining us in the booth. And yeah, I'm sure we'll get speaking to you soon. Okay, Christian.
Thank you for having me.
No problem. And we forgot to do it last week, but we'll do it on stream this time. What was driver of the day? Will we select 3?
Can we still like I would like to make an exception here, and can we do a vote between 2? That this would be my suggestion.
Yeah.
Because I would like to say Flash or Joel, and
Okay.
we leave it up to the drivers.
Okay, that sounds good to me. Yeah, let's do that. Let's
Because I
do
think
that.
both of them did a good job. And then, yeah, I just want to pick up those kind of underdogs usually for this kind of a job, because if you already win the race, do you really have to double dip into winning the driver of the day as well? I like to see the underdog uh, on the
Yeah,
chart. So
get
I
some
would
shine. Yeah.
that would be my vote.
Yeah. I agree completely, and I'm just looking. We did get the results out there pretty quickly, so I was able to have a
Yeah.
look there. Christian Persigilli, as mentioned, 40 points apiece there, so it is shaping up nicely. This drivers' championship. Mikender, it can't be counted out. He's only 4 points behind in the Ferrari. Billy Thompson having a bit of a tough time, tough start to the season, is dropping some points here, but still, still 8 rounds to go. Twos as well, can't count them out. Max. Wait, Max. I didn't know Max had a full-time seat. I thought he was reserved, but somehow he's got himself into P7. It's showing as
I
reserve.
think they're
Yeah.
showing reserves now there
Oh
like
yeah.
that. So yeah,
I'll
it's
have
cool.
to have a look at that. Kevin P6 and the other Red Bull. So that could be good for Persigelli, as Red Bull are the top of the constructors team standings, with Ferrari tied on points, 52. And McLaren 40 points, with Williams 22. So yeah, this is shaping up to be a pretty epic season. But it's early days yet. We're heading to Spain for round 3. Ice, thanks for doing comments with me, and no doubt we'll hear you back in the booth pretty soon. And yeah,
Yep.
very enjoyable.
Yeah, next week I'm away, but should be back after that. So yep.
Okay, so for all those listening, still thanks for tuning in, and we will be back same time next week. We're heading to round 3 for SLR Tier 1. That'll be the Spanish Grand Prix. And yeah, if today's race ending to go by, which was pretty hard to keep up with at times, which is a great indication of a lot of action happening on track, which is what we want. Plenty of hard racing as well, and that safety car really throwing a spanner in the works for a lot of drivers, mixing up the strategies. But yeah, great action all around. So looking forward to seeing how the season pans out, and be sure to tune in next week as we head to that third round and start getting to the business end of the season. Thanks, Ice, once again for the comms, and thanks everybody for tuning in. Good night, everyone.